So, in the Old Testament, what was the whole deal with animal sacrifice? And I'm going to go into how animal sacrifice, technically in the ancient Near East, was a type of magic. So, buckle up. This is going to be extremely offensive if you think magic automatically equals witchcraft. I'm defining magic as any sort of supernatural elements, powers, or communication with God, gods, angels, or deities. So, just to be clear, this is how I am defining magic. In the book of Leviticus, there is this scene where the high priest, he takes a goat and he takes the sins of the people quite literally, and he places his hand on the goat and he transfers the sins of the people into the goat. Now, what most people don't know is this is a form of magic. A little tongue tied today. This is a form of magic, and the form of magic this is called sympathetic magic. Sympathetic magic is a type of magic that is based on the idea that a person or thing can be affected by an object or action that represents them, or by their name at a distance. It is also known as imitative magic. Sympathetic magic is a type of magic that is based on the idea that like produces like, or that an effect resembles its cause. So basically, what you do to one object, the other object becomes like the object you affected. This principle states that like produces like, or that appearance equals reality. For example, in Haitian folk tradition, voodoo dolls are used based on this principle. If someone sticks a pin into the stomach of a doll that resembles a person, the person is expected to feel pain in their stomach at the same time. Because in magic, like produces like. This is where you get the whole concept in ancient religion about as above, so below. So when you do something in the spiritual realm, the physical realm is affected. And so there's this category of magic in sympathetic magic called transference. And transference is this idea that certain things can be transferred from one object to another, either through words or through actions or through touch. And that is what you see in the book of Leviticus. Leviticus 16:21. He is to lay both hands on the head of the live goat and confess over it all the wickedness and rebellion of the Israelites, all their sins, and put them on the goat's head. So you see, like produces like. He shall send the goat away into the wilderness in the care of someone appointed for the task. So you see this like produces like concept in Leviticus, and you see it throughout the whole Old Testament ceremonial text. You see it when the Israelites do burnt offerings. So the entire concept behind the burnt offering is that the sin would be transferred to the animal would be sacrificed, and when the animal is sacrificed, the remains or the smoke of the animal would travel up into the heavens. Now, like I always talk about how the biblical authors used to believe the world was flat. And so in their mind, when the high priest would make the sacrifice, the smoke from the sacrifice would travel from the first heaven to the third heaven to where God was at. And God would receive the smoke, right? God would accept the offering, and God would respond back down to the people. So the people, if they wanted to get God's attention, they would do an offering, and the smoke would travel up to the heavens, and then God would respond back. And you have this two-way communication going on, almost like a door. And so through sympathetic magic, through transference magic, this is how God or gods or angels or deities are communicating with people in the ancient world. And this goes into what people do today with candle magic. It's the same principle. You light a candle, you focus on your intention, you blow the candle out, the smoke goes up into the supernatural realm, and the deity responds back down with your intended desire. Like produces like. You wish or you try to manifest something on earth, and then you get a response from something in the heavenlies. It's magic. Now, whether you want to call it witchcraft or whether you want to say it's good or bad or evil, that is for you to decide. But if you want to know more about this, you need to go to the link in my bio and get my book, Godly Manifestation. I talk about way more of this stuff in my books. Also, be sure to get my book, Secrets of the Bible from the East. The discount code is FACT, F-A-C-T. If you are a big fan of learning about the supernatural, magic, and the Bible, you need to get my books by going to the link in my bio. They come in different bundles. They'll be directly emailed to you, so you do not have to wait for any of my copies of my books to come in the mail. They'll be directly emailed to you. Remember, when I'm using the word magic in this context, I'm not talking about people just using demonic powers. I'm talking about any sort of supernatural elements, any type of supernatural powers, whether it's from God, whether it's from gods, angels, or deities, any kind of supernatural powers. And when you start to understand how magic in the ancient Near East worked, you start to understand what these different rituals, what they actually mean, and what the people were actually doing when they were doing these things. Because a lot of times we go to church and they tell you that the people in the Old Testament did animal sacrifices and that's it. They don't tell you exactly why they did it from their point of view. They don't tell you the psychology behind it. They don't tell you about the supernatural elements behind it. They don't tell you about the divine communication involved in it. They just tell you that these people did sacrifices and that was it. So go to the link in my bio, get my books, share this video around. If you want me to talk about more stuff like this, go to the comment section and type magic. If you love hearing about magic, supernatural stuff in the Bible, type magic in the comments if you think I should have a part 2 to this video. You might not see me again. Get my books in my bio and follow me.